Welcome to Bedtime Express, your gentle journey into peaceful sleep. Tonight, we're embarking on a slow, dreamy journey through the fascinating science behind chocolate's magical ability to soothe our souls. This peaceful journey will let your mind drift as we uncover the beautiful mysteries hidden within each smooth, melting morsel. Over the next 2 hours, you'll discover the fascinating science behind why chocolate soothes our souls. We'll journey from ancient rainforests where cacao was first discovered through the intricate chemistry happening in your brain to the profound psychological comfort that chocolate provides. This is both an educational adventure and a pathway to deep relaxation. Before you fall asleep, please give this video a gentle like and subscribe to Bedtime Express for more soothing bedtime stories. Feel free to leave a comment about your own favorite chocolate memories. We love hearing from our sleepy community. Now, find your most comfortable position. Pull your blankets close, let your breathing slow and deepen, and allow your mind to drift. Close your eyes, release the day's tensions, and prepare to be gently carried into the sweet science of chocolate's comfort. Sweet dreams await. The science of chocolate's comfort. In the misty highlands of ancient Mesoamerica, where clouds kiss the mountainous and time moves like honey, there grew a tree that would change the world. The Theobroma cacao, whose very name means food of the gods, rustled gently in the tropical breeze, its pods hanging like precious ornaments from weathered branches. The Maya and Aztec peoples understood something profound about this humble tree, something that modern science is only now beginning to fully comprehend. Picture, if you will, the first human to taste the bitter seeds of the cacao pod. Perhaps it was a curious child wandering through the dappled sunlight of the rainforest floor. The white pulp surrounding the seeds was sweet, but the seeds themselves, the seeds held secrets that would unfold over millennia. They were bitter, complex, and somehow deeply satisfying in ways that couldn't quite be explained. The ancient peoples developed rituals around this sacred food. They would grind the roasted beans with stone tools, creating a paste that released aromatic compounds into the warm, humid air. They mixed it with spices, vanilla pods that grew wild in their forests, chili peppers that added warmth and complexity, and sometimes honey from the flowers that bloomed in their gardens. The resulting drink was thick, frothy, and deeply nourishing to both body and spirit. But what was happening in those ancient brains as they sipped their sacred chocolate? The cacao beans contained over 300 different chemical compounds, each one contributing to an intricate symphony of sensations. As the warm liquid touched their tongues, taste receptors awakened to detect the subtle bitterness of alkaloids, the gentle sweetness of natural sugars, and the complex aromatics that drifted up through their nasal passages. Deep within the cacao beans lay a compound called anandamide, named after the Sanskrit word ananda, meaning bliss. This naturally occurring chemical would bind to the same receptors in the brain that respond to the body's own happiness molecules. It was as if the tree itself had learned to speak the language of human contentment, whispering sweet promises of peace and satisfaction. The ancient peoples also discovered that their sacred drink seemed to lift spirits and ease the burdens of daily life. Warriors would drink it before battle, not just for energy, but for the calm confidence it seemed to instill. Priests would consume it during ceremonies, finding that it enhanced their sense of connection to the divine. Mothers would prepare it for their families, knowing somehow that it carried with it a feeling of warmth and togetherness that went beyond mere nutrition. As centuries passed, the knowledge of cacao's power spread slowly across the continent. Each culture that encountered it added their own understanding, their own rituals, their own ways of honoring this remarkable plant. The Olmec people created elaborate carvings, showing the importance of cacao in their society. The Maya developed complex agricultural techniques to cultivate it, understanding that the tree thrived in the company of other plants, in the dappled shade of taller trees, in soil enriched by falling leaves, and the gentle decay of forest life. In those pre-industrial times, the preparation of chocolate was a meditation in itself. The slow roasting of beans over carefully tended fires filled the air with rich, complex aromas that seemed to calm the mind even before the first taste. The rhythmic grinding of roasted beans against stone metates created a hypnotic sound that seemed to slow time itself. The careful addition of water or other liquids, the patient whisking to create the perfect foam, the ceremonial pouring from one vessel to another, all of these actions contributed to a sense of mindfulness and presence that modern life often lacks. The ancient peoples didn't need scientific instruments to understand that chocolate was changing something fundamental in their bodies and minds. They could feel the gentle elevation of mood, the subtle relaxation of tension, the way difficult conversations seemed to flow more smoothly after sharing a cup of their sacred drink. They observed that chocolate seemed to enhance feelings of connection between people, that it made celebrations more joyful and sorrows more bearable. What they were experiencing, though they had no words for it, was the complex interaction of dozens of bioactive compounds with their nervous systems. The caffeine and theobromine in the cacao provided gentle stimulation without the harsh edge of other stimulants. The phenylethylamine triggered the release of endorphins, those natural pain relievers and mood elevators that flood our systems during moments of joy and connection. The tryptophan served as a precursor to serotonin, helping to regulate mood and promote feelings of well-being. But perhaps most importantly, the ritual itself, the careful preparation, the mindful consumption, the sharing with others, created a framework for comfort that went beyond chemistry. It was a pause in the day, a moment of intentionality, a small ceremony that acknowledged the importance of nourishment, both physical and emotional. In our modern world, where we often grab chocolate bars hastily from store shelves and consume them while multitasking, we might learn something valuable from these ancient practices. As we drift deeper into our exploration of chocolate's comfort, let your mind wander back to those misty mornings in ancient rainforests. Imagine the slow, purposeful movements of hands that understood the sacred nature of what they were preparing. Feel the warm clay cup in your palms. Inhale the rich, complex aroma rising like incense from the frothy surface. This is where our story begins, not in laboratories or factories, but in the patient wisdom of people who understood that true comfort comes not just from what we consume, but from how we approach the act of nourishment itself. The legacy of these ancient chocolate traditions lives on in every bar of chocolate we unwrap, every hot cocoa we sip on cold nights, every moment when we turn to chocolate for comfort. They remind us that the relationship between humans and chocolate is not just about flavor or nutrition or even chemistry. It's about ritual, connection, and the deep human need to find moments of sweetness and peace in an often bitter world. As we continue our journey through the science of chocolate's comfort, we carry with us the wisdom of these first chocolate lovers who understood something profound about the marriage of pleasure and well-being that modern science is still working to fully explain. Let us now drift into the microscopic realm where chocolate works its gentle magic. Picture your brain as a vast, beautiful garden where billions of neurons bloom like flowers, connected by delicate pathways that shimmer with electrical signals. When chocolate enters this garden, it brings with it a bouquet of molecular messengers, each one carrying its own special gift of comfort and joy. The first messenger to arrive is theobromine, chocolate's signature compound and gentle companion. Unlike its more aggressive cousin caffeine, theobromine moves through your system like a warm breeze on a summer evening. It stimulates your heart rate just enough to make you feel more alive, more present, without the jittery anxiety that can come from stronger stimulants. Theobromine whispers to your cardiovascular system, encouraging blood vessels to relax and open, allowing nourishment to flow more freely to every cell in your body. As you savor that first piece of chocolate, letting it melt slowly on your tongue, theobromine begins its patient work. It blocks adenosine receptors in your brain, those molecular switches that accumulate the day's fatigue and make you feel tired and sluggish. But theobromine doesn't slam these switches shut like caffeine might. Instead, it gently cushions them, allowing you to feel alert and refreshed without losing that dreamy, relaxed state that makes chocolate such a perfect companion for quiet moments. Next comes phenylethylamine, a compound so intimately connected with feelings of love and happiness that scientists sometimes call it the love molecule. When phenylethylamine enters your bloodstream, it triggers the release of dopamine and norepinephrine, those beautiful chemicals that flood your system when you fall in love, achieve a goal, or experience profound joy. This is why chocolate often feels like a warm hug from the inside out, why it can lift your spirits on difficult days, why it seems to wrap you in a cocoon of gentle contentment. Imagine these molecules as tiny dancers, each one performing a specific choreography in the ballroom of your brain. Phenylethylamine waltzes with your reward pathways, encouraging the release of those precious endorphins that serve as your body's natural pain relievers and mood elevators. It's the same chemical your brain produces during exercise, laughter, and moments of deep connection with others, which explains why chocolate often feels like a substitute for these experiences when they're not readily available. But the most fascinating dancer in this molecular ballet might be anandamide, that blissfully named compound we encountered in our ancient cacao forests. Anandamide binds to the same receptors in your brain that respond to your body's own natural happiness chemicals, the endocannabinoids that help regulate mood, memory, and pain perception. When anandamide from chocolate meets these receptors, it's like a key fitting perfectly into a lock, opening doors to feelings of calm satisfaction and gentle euphoria. What makes anandamide particularly special is how it works in harmony with other compounds in chocolate. 5. Chocolate contains natural inhibitors that prevent anandamide from being broken down too quickly, allowing its effects to linger in your system like the final notes of a beautiful song. This is why the comfort from chocolate seems to last beyond the few minutes it takes to consume it, why you can feel that gentle glow of contentment continuing to warm you long after the last bite has melted away. Tryptophan, another of chocolate's molecular gifts, arrives bearing the promise of deeper peace. This amino acid serves as the building block for serotonin, that crucial neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood, sleep, and feelings of well-being. When you consume chocolate, you're providing your brain with the raw materials it needs to manufacture more of its own natural antidepressant. The process is slow and gentle, like watching a sunrise gradually illuminate the landscape of your consciousness with warm golden light. The timing of tryptophan's effects is particularly beautiful. While some of chocolate's other compounds provide immediate comfort, tryptophan works on a longer timeline, contributing to the sustained sense of well-being that can last for hours after eating chocolate. It's as if chocolate provides both immediate relief and a gentle promise that things will continue to feel just a little bit better as time passes. Magnesium, often overlooked among chocolate's more glamorous compounds, plays a crucial supporting role in this symphony of comfort. This essential mineral helps regulate the function of your nervous system, supporting the production and utilization of those mood-enhancing neurotransmitters we've been discussing. Many people are subtly deficient in magnesium, especially during times of stress, which might explain why chocolate cravings often intensify during difficult periods in our lives. Your body may be wisely seeking out the magnesium it needs to maintain emotional equilibrium. The flavonoids in chocolate, those powerful antioxidant compounds that give dark chocolate its subtle bitterness, contribute their own unique gifts to the comfort experience. They help protect your brain cells from oxidative stress, that cellular wear and tear that can contribute to anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. But more immediately, flavonoids also enhance blood flow to areas of the brain involved in memory and executive function, creating a sense of mental clarity that often accompanies chocolate consumption. This improved cerebral blood flow has a dreamy quality to it. Many people report that they think more clearly, feel more creative, and experience enhanced focus after eating good chocolate. It's not the sharp, sometimes harsh clarity that comes from stimulants, but rather a gentle illumination of the mind, like soft lamplight filling a previously dim room. The interaction between all these compounds creates what scientists call synergy, the phenomenon where the combined effect is greater than the sum of its parts. Each molecule enhances and supports the work of the others, creating a complex tapestry of comfort that no single compound could provide alone. This is why synthetic versions of chocolate's active compounds never quite capture the full experience of eating real chocolate. They lack the intricate relationships that millions of years of evolution have woven into the cacao bean. Temperature plays a crucial role in how these molecular dancers perform their choreography. When chocolate melts at body temperature, it releases volatile aromatic compounds that drift up through your nasal passages to your olfactory receptors. These receptors are directly connected to the limbic system, the ancient part of your brain that processes emotions and memories. This is why the smell of melting chocolate can instantly transport you back to childhood, to moments of celebration, to times when comfort was simple and unconditional. The texture of melting chocolate also sends its own comforting signals to your brain. The smooth, creamy sensation activates touch receptors in your mouth that are connected to the same neural pathways involved in nurturing behaviors. The same pathways that are activated by gentle caresses, warm embraces, and other forms of comforting physical contact. In a very real sense, chocolate provides a form of self-soothing that mimics the comfort we receive from loving human touch. As we explore these molecular mechanisms of comfort, it's important to remember that they don't work in isolation. The chemistry of chocolate's comfort is intimately connected to your expectations, your memories, your current emotional state, and the context in which you're eating it. A piece of chocolate eaten mindfully, with attention and gratitude, will activate different neural pathways than one consumed hastily or out of compulsion. This is why the ancient peoples who first discovered chocolate's power often surrounded it with ritual and ceremony. They intuitively understood that the mind's approach to chocolate would influence how the body responds to it. When we eat chocolate with awareness and appreciation, we enhance our brain's receptivity to its comforting compounds, creating a more profound and lasting experience of peace and well-being. As this second chapter of our journey draws to a gentle close, let yourself marvel at the intricate dance happening in your brain every time you enjoy chocolate. These molecules that we've met, theobromine, phenylethylamine, anandamide, tryptophan, magnesium, and flavonoids, are not just chemicals but messengers of comfort, carrying millions of years of evolutionary wisdom about what it means to be nourished, satisfied, and at peace. They remind us that the science of comfort is not cold or mechanical, but rather a beautiful expression of the deep intelligence that flows through all living things. Now let us journey beyond the intricate landscape of the brain and explore how chocolate's comfort radiates throughout your entire body, touching every system with its gentle, healing presence. Like ripples spreading across the surface of a still pond, the effects of chocolate move through your physical being, bringing relaxation to tense muscles, warmth to cold extremities, and a deep sense of bodily contentment that extends far beyond taste. Begin with your cardiovascular system, that tireless network of vessels and chambers that carries life throughout your body. When you consume dark chocolate, rich in flavonoids, something beautiful happens to your blood vessels. These protective compounds encourage the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that acts like a gentle massage for your arteries and veins. As nitric oxide spreads through your circulatory system, it whispers to the smooth muscles that line your blood vessels, encouraging them to relax, to soften, to open more fully. Picture your blood vessels as rivers that have been running narrow and constrained, and chocolate as a gentle spring rain that allows them to widen and flow more freely. This vasodilation, as scientists call it, doesn't just happen. It unfolds gradually, like a flower opening to the morning sun. Your blood pressure drops slightly, not dramatically, but just enough to ease the constant low-level stress that many of us carry in our cardiovascular systems. Your heart doesn't have to work quite as hard to push blood through your body, and this subtle shift can create a profound sense of physical ease. The improved circulation that follows brings its own gifts of comfort. More oxygen and nutrients flow to your brain, enhancing that sense of mental clarity and calm we discussed earlier. Your extremities, Fingers and toes that might have been slightly cold or tense receive better blood flow, bringing warmth and relaxation to areas that often hold the physical manifestations of stress. Many people notice that their hands feel warmer and more relaxed after eating good chocolate, as if their body is literally embracing itself from the inside out. Your digestive system, too, responds to chocolate's presence with a complex symphony of gentle adjustments. The cocoa butter and chocolate melts at body temperature, coating your stomach lining with a thin, protective layer that can help soothe minor irritations and provide a feeling of fullness and satisfaction. This isn't the heavy, uncomfortable fullness that comes from overeating, but rather a gentle sense of completeness, as if your body is saying, "Yes, this is exactly what I needed." The fiber naturally present in cacao supports your digestive health in subtler ways as well. It feeds the beneficial bacteria that live in your intestinal tract, those invisible allies that play such crucial roles in your physical and even mental well-being. As these friendly microorganisms feast on chocolate's prebiotic compounds, they produce short-chain fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory effects throughout your body. It's a beautiful example of how chocolate's comfort works, not just in the immediate moment, but continues to support your well-being long after the taste has faded. The relationship between chocolate and your body's stress response system is particularly fascinating. When you're under stress, your adrenal glands release cortisol, that fight or flight hormone that can be helpful in acute situations but destructive when chronically elevated. Studies suggest that the compounds in dark chocolate may help modulate cortisol production, not by shutting it down completely, but by helping your body find a more balanced, sustainable rhythm. Imagine your stress response system as a violin string that has been wound too tight, producing harsh, discordant notes. Chocolate doesn't break the string or silence it completely, but rather helps it find the proper tension for making beautiful music. Your body maintains its ability to respond appropriately to challenges, but without the constant background note of anxiety and tension that chronic stress can create. The magnesium in chocolate plays a particularly important role in this stress-soothing effect. This essential mineral is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, many of them related to muscle function and nervous system regulation. When you're stressed or anxious, your body uses up magnesium more rapidly, which can create a cycle where stress leads to magnesium depletion, which makes you more susceptible to stress. Chocolate provides a delicious way to replenish these magnesium stores, helping to break this cycle and restore your body's natural resilience. The effect of adequate magnesium on your muscular system can be quite profound. Many people carry tension in their shoulders, neck, and jaw without even realizing it, creating a constant low-level drain on their energy and sense of well-being. As chocolate's magnesium is absorbed and begins to support proper muscle function, these areas of chronic tension may begin to soften and release. It's not unusual for people to notice that they feel physically more relaxed and comfortable after eating good chocolate, as if their body is finally able to let go of tension it has been holding on to. Your respiratory system also benefits from chocolate's gentle touch. Theobromine, chocolate's signature alkaloid, acts as a mild bronchodilator, encouraging the smooth muscles around your airways to relax and open. This is why chocolate has historically been used as a folk remedy for coughs and respiratory complaints. While you might not notice dramatic changes in your breathing after eating chocolate, there can be a subtle sense of easier, deeper respiration, as if you're able to draw air more fully into your lungs. This improved breathing often contributes to the overall sense of relaxation and well-being that chocolate provides. When we're stressed or anxious, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, which can perpetuate feelings of tension and unease. The gentle bronchodilating effect of theobromine encourages deeper, slower breathing, which activates your body's parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response that promotes healing, recovery, and peace. The skin, your body's largest organ, also responds to chocolate's nourishing presence. The antioxidants in cocoa help protect your cells from oxidative damage, that gradual wear and tear that contributes to aging and various health problems. While you won't see immediate changes after eating a piece of chocolate, regular consumption of high-quality dark chocolate may contribute to better skin health over time, giving you that healthy glow that comes from being well nourished from within. Some of the most profound effects of chocolate on your body are the ones that are hardest to measure scientifically but easy to feel subjectively. There's the way chocolate seems to make your body feel more like home, more familiar and comfortable to inhabit. There's the gentle warming sensation that spreads from your core outward, like sitting near a cozy fireplace on a cold night. There's the way physical discomfort, whether from tension, fatigue, or minor aches and pains, seems to fade into the background, not disappearing entirely, but becoming less prominent in your awareness. These effects are likely the result of complex interactions between chocolate's various compounds and your body's interconnected systems. The endorphins triggered by phenylethylamine provide natural pain relief. The improved circulation brings fresh oxygen and nutrients to tissues that may have been slightly deprived. The reduction in stress hormones allows your immune system to function more effectively, supporting your body's natural healing processes. It's important to remember that chocolate's physical effects are dose-dependent and quality-dependent. A small piece of high-quality dark chocolate will provide these benefits more effectively than a large amount of highly processed milk chocolate loaded with sugar and artificial additives. The cacao content matters. The higher the percentage, the more of these beneficial compounds you're getting. But more isn't always better. The key is finding the amount that provides comfort without overwhelming your system. The timing of chocolate consumption can also influence its physical effects. Eating chocolate slowly, allowing it to melt on your tongue, and savoring the experience gives your body more time to absorb and respond to its compounds. Consuming it in a relaxed state, when you're not rushed or stressed, allows your digestive system to process it more efficiently and your nervous system to be more receptive to its calming influences. As we prepare to leave this exploration of chocolate's physical embrace, take a moment to appreciate the remarkable intelligence of your body. Every cell, every system, every process is working together in an intricate dance of life and health. Chocolate doesn't impose comfort on your body from the outside. Instead, it provides the raw materials and gentle encouragement that allow your body to create comfort for itself. In this way, chocolate becomes a partner in your well-being, supporting your body's natural wisdom and helping it remember what it feels like to be truly at ease. This partnership between chocolate and your physical being reminds us that comfort is not just about pleasure or indulgence. It's about supporting the fundamental processes that keep us healthy, resilient, and capable of enjoying life fully. When we choose high-quality chocolate and consume it mindfully, we're not just satisfying a craving, we're participating in an ancient relationship between plants and humans, a relationship based on mutual nourishment and the shared wisdom of what it means to thrive. Let us now venture into the most mysterious realm of chocolate's comfort, the landscape of the human psyche, where memories dance with emotions and every bite carries the weight of our deepest associations with love, safety, and belonging. Here, in the gentle territories of the mind, chocolate works its most profound magic, not through molecules alone, but through the intricate tapestry of meaning that we weave around our experiences of sweetness and solace. Close your eyes and remember the first time chocolate truly comforted you. Perhaps you were a child, and chocolate came wrapped in the loving hands of a parent or grandparent, offered not just as food, but as a gesture of care, understanding, and unconditional love. Maybe it was a piece of birthday cake, rich with chocolate frosting, marking not just the passage of time, but your importance in the world, your worthiness of celebration. Or it might have been a quiet moment of solitude, when chocolate became your companion in processing some difficult emotion, a sweet friend who asked no questions and offered only presence and understanding. These early experiences create what psychologists call conditioned associations, powerful links between chocolate and feelings of safety, love, and comfort that persist throughout our lives. But this conditioning isn't arbitrary or superficial. It reflects something deep and true about the nature of nurturance itself. Throughout human history, sweetness has been associated with safety and goodness, while bitterness has often signaled danger and toxicity. Chocolate, with its unique combination of sweetness and pleasant bitterness, occupies a special place in our psychological landscape. Familiar enough to feel safe, complex enough to remain interesting and sophisticated. The act of eating chocolate engages multiple senses simultaneously, creating what memory researchers call rich encoding, the kind of multisensory experience that our brains are most likely to remember clearly and emotionally. The smooth texture melting on your tongue, the complex aroma rising to your olfactory receptors, the slight sound of chocolate breaking between your teeth, the visual appeal of its glossy surface, all of these sensory elements combine to create memories that are not just stored in your brain, but felt in your entire body. This multisensory richness helps explain why chocolate memories are often so vivid and emotionally charged. When you eat chocolate, you're not just consuming food, you're participating in a complex sensory ritual that your brain interprets as significant and worth remembering. These memories become part of your emotional toolkit, resources you can draw upon when you need comfort, reassurance, or a connection to happier times. The relationship between chocolate and our social bonds runs particularly deep. Chocolate has been a gift of love and friendship across cultures for centuries, and this social dimension adds powerful psychological layers to its comfort value. When we eat chocolate, we often unconsciously recall not just the taste, but the relationships and connections associated with it. The grandmother who always kept chocolate chips in her pantry, the friend who brought chocolate when we were sad, the romantic partner who surprised us with our favorite truffle. This social embedding of chocolate in our emotional lives helps explain why it can feel comforting even when we're alone. In a very real sense, we're never entirely alone when we eat chocolate. We carry with us all the love and care that chocolate has represented throughout our lives. Each piece becomes a small communion with everyone who has ever offered us chocolate as an expression of affection, celebration, or sympathy. The psychology of chocolate comfort also involves what researchers call emotional regulation, our ability to manage and modulate our emotional states. Chocolate provides a socially acceptable, readily available tool for emotional self-care that doesn't require explanation or justification. When we're feeling overwhelmed, sad, anxious, or simply emotionally depleted, reaching for chocolate can feel like a natural, intuitive response, our inner wisdom guiding us towards something that has reliably provided comfort in the past. But chocolate's role in emotional regulation goes beyond simple self-medication. The act of choosing chocolate, unwrapping it, and eating it mindfully can serve as a form of self-compassion practice, a way of saying to ourselves, you deserve sweetness, you deserve comfort, you deserve to feel better. This message of self-kindness can be just as healing as chocolate's biochemical effects, especially for people who struggle with self-criticism or feelings of unworthiness. The ritual aspects of chocolate consumption contribute significantly to its psychological comfort value. Many people have personal chocolate rituals, specific times of day when they enjoy it, particular ways of eating it, favorite environments or activities that accompany it. These rituals create predictability and structure in our emotional lives, offering islands of pleasure and control in what can often feel like chaotic or unpredictable circumstances. Consider the evening chocolate ritual that many people have developed. That quiet moment after dinner when they sit with a piece of good chocolate, letting it melt slowly while reflecting on the day, or simply enjoying a few minutes of peaceful solitude. This isn't just about the chocolate itself. It's about creating a sacred pause, a moment of intentional self-care that marks the transition from the productive, demanding parts of the day to the restorative, nurturing evening hours. The psychological comfort of chocolate is also intimately connected to our sense of agency and choice. In many areas of life, we may feel constrained by circumstances, obligations, or other people's expectations. But chocolate represents a realm of pure personal preference, where we can exercise complete autonomy over our experience. Do we want dark or milk chocolate? Do we eat it quickly or savor it slowly? Do we share it or keep it for ourselves? These small choices may seem trivial, but they represent important moments of self-determination that contribute to our psychological well-being. The sensory predictability of high-quality chocolate also provides psychological comfort, especially for people who struggle with anxiety or sensory sensitivity. Good chocolate behaves in predictable ways. It melts at a consistent temperature, it has a reliable texture and flavor profile. It provides a controlled sensory experience that isn't overwhelming or unpredictable. For people whose daily lives involve a lot of sensory uncertainty or emotional volatility, chocolate can offer a small oasis of reliability and gentleness. Chocolate's role in celebration and marking special occasions adds another layer to its psychological significance. From birthday cakes to holiday treats, from Valentine's Day gifts to graduation celebrations, chocolate has become woven into the fabric of our most meaningful moments. This association with celebration means that eating chocolate can trigger memories of joy, accomplishment, and love, even when we're consuming it during ordinary moments. It's as if chocolate carries within it an echo of every celebration it has ever been part of, ready to share that festive energy whenever we need it. The concept of comfort food in psychology recognizes that certain foods provide emotional nourishment that goes far beyond their nutritional content. Chocolate exemplifies this phenomenon perfectly, offering what researchers call hedonic eating, consumption driven not by hunger but by the pursuit of pleasure and emotional satisfaction. This isn't a failure of willpower or a sign of weakness. It's a recognition that humans have always used food as one way to care for their emotional needs, and chocolate has proven to be particularly effective in this role. The psychological effects of chocolate are also influenced by what researchers call expectancy effects, the power of our beliefs and expectations to shape our actual experience. Because most of us believe that chocolate will make us feel better, this belief itself becomes part of chocolate's comfort mechanism. Our brains, expecting comfort, become more receptive to the subtle mood-enhancing effects of chocolate's compounds, creating a positive feedback loop between expectation and experience. This doesn't mean that chocolate's comfort is just psychological or somehow less real. The mind and body are not separate entities. They are aspects of one integrated system, and psychological effects create real physiological changes just as surely as chemical compounds do. When chocolate makes us feel emotionally better, this improved emotional state triggers measurable changes in stress, hormones, immune function, and other biological processes. The comfort is real, regardless of whether it originates in molecules or memories or some beautiful combination of both. The timing of chocolate consumption often reflects its role in emotional processing and self-care. Many people find themselves craving chocolate during times of stress, sadness, or emotional depletion, and this isn't accidental. Our bodies and minds have learned to associate chocolate with emotional relief, and this association can be triggered automatically when we encounter situations that require emotional coping. Rather than fighting these cravings, we might learn to see them as our inner wisdom guiding us toward a tool that has proven effective for emotional regulation. The social psychology of chocolate consumption reveals interesting patterns in how we use it to navigate relationships and social situations. Sharing chocolate with others creates bonds of intimacy and trust. Think of how often chocolate appears in romantic contexts, or how offering someone chocolate during difficult times is understood as a gesture of support and care. These social uses of chocolate reinforce its associations with love and connection, making it even more psychologically comforting when we consume it alone. The concept of mindful eating has particular relevance to chocolate's psychological comfort value. When we eat chocolate mindfully, paying attention to its flavors, textures, and aromas, noticing our emotional responses, and staying present with the experience, we amplify both its physical and psychological benefits. Mindful chocolate consumption becomes a form of meditation, a practice of presence and self-awareness that can be deeply centering and calming. This mindful approach also helps us distinguish between what we might call comfort eating and emotional eating. Comfort eating involves consciously choosing chocolate as a tool for self-care, eating it with awareness and appreciation, and stopping when we feel satisfied. Emotional eating, on the other hand, often involves consuming chocolate compulsively or unconsciously, using it to numb or avoid difficult emotions rather than to process them. Understanding this distinction can help us develop a healthier relationship with chocolate's comforting properties. The role of chocolate in grief and loss deserves special attention in our exploration of its psychological comfort. Throughout many cultures, food, and especially sweet food, plays an important role in mourning rituals and the process of healing from loss. Chocolate, with its unique combination of richness, sweetness, and subtle complexity, can provide a form of solace that doesn't try to fix or eliminate grief, but simply offers gentle companionship during difficult times. For people dealing with depression or anxiety, chocolate can serve as a small but meaningful tool for managing symptoms and maintaining emotional equilibrium. While it's not a substitute for professional treatment, the gentle mood, elevation, and sensory pleasure that chocolate provides can offer moments of reprieve from the heavy weight of mental health challenges. It becomes a way of offering oneself small doses of pleasure and comfort, even when larger joys feel inaccessible. The psychology of chocolate also intersects with our relationship to pleasure and indulgence more broadly. In cultures that often emphasize productivity, restraint, and self-denial, chocolate represents a form of acceptable hedonism, a way to experience pure pleasure without guilt or judgment. This permission to enjoy, to indulge, to prioritize pleasure, even briefly, can be psychologically liberating and restorative. The seasonal psychology of chocolate consumption reveals how it serves different emotional needs at different times of year. During darker months, when many people struggle with seasonal affective symptoms, chocolate can provide both the sensory richness and the mood-elevating compounds that help compensate for reduced sunlight and social activity. During times of celebration and gathering, chocolate serves as a social lubricant and a symbol of abundance and joy. During periods of stress or challenge, it offers reliable comfort and a sense of treating oneself well, despite difficult circumstances. As we near the end of this exploration of chocolate's psychological dimensions, it's worth reflecting on the profound intelligence embedded in our collective relationship with this remarkable food. Across cultures and throughout history, humans have intuited chocolate's power to comfort, to heal, to bring people together, and to provide moments of sweetness in often difficult lives. This wisdom predates scientific understanding of neurotransmitters and stress hormones. It emerges from thousands of years of human experience with what truly nourishes us, body and soul. The psychology of chocolate's comfort teaches us that healing and well-being aren't always complex or difficult to access. Sometimes they can be as simple as taking a few moments to truly taste a piece of good chocolate, to feel gratitude for the pleasure it provides, and to recognize this small act as a form of self-compassion and care. In a world that often feels harsh and demanding, chocolate reminds us that we deserve sweetness, that pleasure is not frivolous but essential, and that comfort can be found in the simplest of acts when they are performed with awareness and appreciation. As our gentle journey through chocolate's comforting embrace draws toward its peaceful conclusion, let us explore the most personal and profound aspect of chocolate's gift, the rituals we create around it, and the sacred moments that emerge when we approach chocolate not just as food, but as a pathway to presence, peace, and deep self-care. Picture yourself in your most comfortable space, perhaps a favorite chair by a window where afternoon light filters through soft curtains, or a quiet corner of your kitchen where the morning stillness holds you like a gentle embrace. In your hands, you hold a piece of chocolate, but this is not just any chocolate. This is chocolate chosen with intention, unwrapped with awareness, and approached with the recognition that this moment can become something sacred if you allow it to be. The ritual begins before the first taste, in the careful selection of your chocolate. When we choose chocolate mindfully, we're making a statement about our worthiness of pleasure, our commitment to quality over quantity, our understanding that comfort deserves to be cultivated rather than grabbed hastily. The weight of good chocolate in your hands, the way it breaks with a satisfying snap, the glossy surface that reflects light like a small, dark mirror, all of these qualities speak to the care and craftsmanship that went into its creation, and they deserve our reciprocal attention and respect. As you prepare to taste your chocolate, notice how your senses begin to awaken and focus. Your eyes take in the color, perhaps the deep mahogany of dark chocolate, or the warm caramel tones of milk chocolate, or the pale elegance of white chocolate. Your fingers feel the texture, the smoothness that speaks of careful tempering, the slight firmness that promises a satisfying melt. Already, before any taste has occurred, you're entering into relationship with this small piece of crafted comfort. Bring the chocolate close to your nose and breathe in deeply. Notice how the aroma seems to open something within you, triggering not just olfactory receptors, but memories, emotions, and a gentle anticipation that spreads through your body like warm honey. Good chocolate has what chocolatiers call aroma complexity, layers of scent that unfold gradually, revealing notes of vanilla, spice, fruit, or earth, depending on the origin of the cacao and the skill of the chocolate maker. This is your invitation to slow down, to be present, to allow yourself to be fully available to the experience that's about to unfold. Now place the chocolate on your tongue, but resist the urge to bite immediately. Instead, let it rest there, feeling how your body temperature begins the gentle process of melting. Notice how your mouth begins to water slightly, your digestive system already responding to the promise of nourishment and pleasure. This moment of anticipation is part of the ritual's magic, the pause between desire and fulfillment that allows us to appreciate both more fully. As the chocolate begins to melt, something beautiful happens. The cocoa butter releases flavor compounds at precisely body temperature, creating what chocolate experts call flavor release, the gradual unfolding of taste that can't be rushed or forced. Let your tongue explore the dissolving chocolate, noticing how different areas of your mouth detect different flavor notes. The tip of your tongue might perceive sweetness most clearly, while the sides detect acidity or tannins, and the back responds to bitterness and astringency. This is chocolate's way of engaging your entire palate in a conversation about pleasure and complexity. The texture of melting chocolate provides its own form of comfort and mindfulness. Good chocolate doesn't just disappear on your tongue, it transforms gradually from solid to liquid, coating your mouth with richness and creating what chocolatiers call mouthfeel, that luxurious sensation of creaminess and smoothness that signals quality and careful craftsmanship. Let yourself be fully present to this textural journey, the way it changes and evolves with each moment, each slight movement of your tongue. As you swallow, notice how the flavors linger and transform. High-quality chocolate has what tasters call a long finish, flavor notes that continue to evolve and reveal themselves even after the chocolate itself has been consumed. This is where the true artistry of chocolate making reveals itself, in these subtle aftermath notes that can include hints of tobacco, leather, floral essences, or tropical fruits, depending on the origin and processing of the cacao beans. But the ritual of chocolate comfort extends beyond the act of eating itself. It includes the environment you create, the intentions you bring, and the awareness you maintain throughout the experience. Some people find that lighting a candle or playing soft music enhances their chocolate meditation, creating a multi-sensory sanctuary that signals to their nervous system that this is time set aside for peace and self-care. Others prefer the simple elegance of silence, allowing chocolate's own subtle sounds, the snap of breaking, the quiet dissolution, to provide the soundtrack for their moment of comfort. The timing of chocolate rituals can be deeply significant. An afternoon chocolate break might serve as a gentle transition between the demanding parts of your day and the more restorative evening hours. A piece of chocolate before bed might become part of a wind-down routine, signaling to your body and mind that it's time to shift from doing to being, from productivity to rest. Morning chocolate might set an intention of sweetness and pleasure for the day ahead, a reminder that even in the midst of responsibilities and challenges, moments of joy and comfort are not only possible, but necessary. Sharing chocolate rituals with others can deepen their meaning and create bonds of intimacy and understanding. When we offer chocolate to someone mindfully, taking time to select something special, presenting it with care, and sharing the experience of savoring it together, we're offering more than food. We're offering presence, attention, and a moment of mutual appreciation for life's simpler pleasures. These shared chocolate moments can become part of the fabric of our relationships, small ceremonies that affirm our care for each other and our commitment to creating beauty and sweetness together. The seasonal rhythms of chocolate rituals reflect our deep need to mark time's passage with meaningful practices. Winter chocolate might be enjoyed by firelight, its warming properties matching the season's call for comfort and introspection. Spring chocolate could be savored outdoors, its brightness complementing the renewal and hope that emerge with longer days and blooming flowers. Summer chocolate might be enjoyed in the evening air, its coolness providing relief from heat, while its richness satisfies without overwhelming. Autumn chocolate can accompany the season's contemplative mood, its earthiness harmonizing with falling leaves and the quiet preparation for winter's rest. The practice of keeping a chocolate journal can deepen your relationship with chocolate's comforting properties. Recording not just what you eat but how you feel before and after, what thoughts arise during the tasting, what memories are triggered, and what emotions shift, can help you understand more fully how chocolate serves your particular needs for comfort and well-being. Over time, patterns might emerge, certain chocolates that serve you best during stress, others that enhance celebration, specific times of day when chocolate brings the most satisfaction and peace. The ritual of chocolate comfort also includes understanding when to engage with it and when to abstain. Like any tool for well-being, chocolate serves us best when we approach it with wisdom and moderation. The ritual includes learning to distinguish between authentic desire for comfort and compulsive eating, driven by unconscious emotional patterns. It involves developing the capacity to say yes to chocolate when it truly serves our well-being, and to choose other forms of comfort when chocolate isn't what we genuinely need. This discernment is itself a form of self-care and self-respect. When we eat chocolate consciously, in response to genuine desire rather than compulsion, we honor both our body's wisdom and chocolate's true nature as a source of comfort rather than a numbing agent. The ritual becomes not just about consuming chocolate, but about developing a mature, loving relationship with pleasure itself. The environmental consciousness that many people are bringing to their food choices can also become part of chocolate ritual. Choosing chocolate that is ethically sourced, sustainably produced, and fairly traded adds a dimension of moral satisfaction to the physical and emotional comfort that chocolate provides. When we know that our chocolate was produced in ways that support rather than exploit farming communities and environmental systems, we can enjoy it with a clear conscience that enhances rather than compromises our sense of well-being. The art of pairing chocolate with other elements can create rituals of even greater complexity and satisfaction. Chocolate with wine, with tea, with coffee, with fruits or nuts or cheeses. Each combination creates its own symphony of flavors and its own particular form of comfort. These pairings can become part of special occasion rituals, ways of marking important moments or transitions with heightened sensory pleasure and mindful appreciation. Some people develop chocolate rituals around specific life challenges or transitions. A piece of chocolate eaten mindfully before a difficult conversation might serve as a small anchor of self-care and confidence. Chocolate consumed during grief might not eliminate sadness, but can provide a moment of sweetness in the midst of sorrow, a reminder that life still contains elements worth savoring, even during its most difficult passages. Celebratory chocolate can amplify joy and create lasting memories of special achievements or milestones. The ritual of chocolate comfort ultimately teaches us about the sacred nature of small daily acts of self-care. In a world that often demands we postpone pleasure, rush through experiences, and prioritize productivity over presence, the simple act of eating chocolate mindfully becomes a form of resistance, a quiet insistence that our well-being matters, that pleasure is not frivolous, and that we deserve to experience sweetness and comfort regularly, not just as occasional treats. As we conclude this exploration of chocolate's ritual dimensions, consider how you might incorporate greater intentionality and awareness into your own relationship with chocolate. What environment helps you feel most receptive to comfort and pleasure? What time of day or season calls most strongly for chocolate's particular gifts? How might you transform casual chocolate consumption into moments of genuine self-care and presence? The answers to these questions are as individual as you are, but the invitation is universal: to approach chocolate not just as food, but as a teacher of presence, a gateway to comfort, and a reminder that we can create moments of sacred sweetness in even the most ordinary of days. In learning to receive chocolate's gifts fully and gratefully, we practice receiving life's other gifts with the same openness and appreciation. We remember that comfort is not something we have to earn or deserve through suffering, but something we can offer ourselves simply because we exist, because we are human, and because sweetness is our birthright. As our dreamy journey through chocolate's comforting science draws to its gentle close, let yourself rest in the warm afterglow of all we've discovered together. Like the lingering finish of exceptional chocolate, the insights we've explored continue to reveal themselves in subtle, satisfying ways, creating a lasting sense of understanding and appreciation that will accompany you long after these words fade into silence. We began in ancient rainforests, where indigenous peoples first recognized the sacred nature of cacao, intuiting its power to comfort and connect us to something larger than ourselves. We journeyed through the intricate dance of molecules in your brain, watching as theobromine, phenylethylamine, anandamide, and their companions orchestrated symphonies of pleasure and peace. We explored how chocolate's gifts radiate throughout your entire body, from the gentle relaxation of blood vessels to the soothing of stressed nervous systems. We delved into the psychological landscape where chocolate becomes interwoven with our deepest associations of love, safety, and belonging. And finally, we discovered how mindful chocolate rituals can transform simple consumption into sacred acts of self-care and presence. What emerges from this exploration is a picture of chocolate as far more than mere confection or indulgence, far more than simple pleasure or temporary escape from life's challenges. Chocolate reveals itself as a bridge between the physical and emotional realms of comfort, a teacher of mindfulness and presence that instructs us in the art of receiving life's gifts with awareness and gratitude, and a gentle reminder that pleasure and well-being are not luxuries to be rationed or earned through suffering, but necessities for a life fully lived, fundamental requirements for the kind of thriving that makes all our other activities meaningful and sustainable. In understanding the science of chocolate's comfort, we also understand something profound about the nature of comfort itself, that it arises not from any single cause, but from the beautiful integration of body, mind, memory, and meaning, from the complex interplay of chemistry and consciousness, tradition and innovation, individual experience, and collective wisdom that makes human life so rich, so complex, and so worthy of celebration. Chocolate becomes a lens through which we can understand our own deeper needs for nourishment, comfort, and connection, showing us that these needs are not signs of weakness or self-indulgence, but expressions of our fundamental humanity, our biological and psychological wisdom that knows what we require to not just survive but thrive in this complex and often challenging world. The wisdom embedded in chocolate's comforting properties reflects millions of years of evolutionary intelligence, thousands of years of human cultural knowledge, and the immediate, present moment intelligence of your own body and mind, recognizing what serves your well-being. When you reach for chocolate during times of stress, sadness, or simple need for nurturing, you're not acting out of weakness or lack of willpower. You're responding to deep wisdom about what it means to care for yourself with gentleness and compassion. As you drift towards sleep, perhaps you'll carry with you a new appreciation for the remarkable complexity and intelligence hidden within chocolate's simple appearance. You might find yourself approaching your next piece of chocolate with greater awareness, curiosity, and gratitude for the journey it has taken from cacao tree to your tongue, and for the journey it will take through your body and consciousness. leaving its trail of comfort and connection. Remember that the science of chocolate's comfort is also the science of your own remarkable capacity for healing, pleasure, and well-being. Every time chocolate makes you feel better, it's not just the chocolate working its magic. It's your own wise body and mind recognizing comfort, receiving it gratefully, and allowing it to do its healing work. You are not a passive recipient of chocolate's gifts, but an active participant in creating and sustaining your own comfort and joy. In a world that often feels harsh, uncertain, or overwhelming, chocolate offers us a daily reminder that sweetness exists, that comfort is available, and that pleasure is not something to be earned, but something to be received with open hearts and grateful awareness. It teaches us that self-care can be as simple as taking a moment to truly taste our food, that healing can happen in small increments rather than dramatic transformations, and that the tools for well-being are often closer at hand than we realize. Let the knowledge of chocolate's comforting science settle into your consciousness like sediment in still water, creating a foundation of understanding that will support more mindful, appreciative relationships with all forms of nourishment and comfort in your life. May you carry forward the patience of ancient chocolate makers, the wisdom of your own body's responses, and the sweetness that emerges when we approach simple pleasures with complex appreciation. And now, as sleep begins to call you into its own form of comfort and restoration, let yourself rest in the knowledge that comfort is always available to you, in the warmth of your bed, in the rhythm of your breathing, in the simple fact of your existence, and yes, in the occasional piece of chocolate eaten with awareness and gratitude. Sweet dreams, dear listener, and may your rest be as satisfying and restorative as the finest chocolate melting slowly on a mindful tongue. The science of chocolate's comfort lives not just in laboratories and research papers, but in every moment when we choose to receive life's sweetness with open hearts, grateful awareness, and the deep understanding that we are worthy of comfort, pleasure, and joy. This is chocolate's greatest gift, not just the comfort it provides, but the reminder that comfort is our birthright, sweetness is available in each moment, and the science of well-being is written into the very fabric of our being. Rest well, dream sweetly, and remember, you are deserving of all the comfort and sweetness life has to offer. The science of chocolate's comfort is ultimately the science of your own beautiful, complex, and infinitely deserving humanity.